Alright, guys. Dr. Crank. I'm going to tell y'all about a mescaline experience I had. If you're ever thinking about doing peyote, this right here going to make you think. Alright. I got invited to do a peyote ritual with some Navajos up in Navajo Mountain. And so, fuck it, I go. Right? And I'm the only white dude there. So, it's kind of kicking off a bad vibe for me to start with, which isn't good if you're about to trip your balls off. But, I'm starting to think, well, I don't give a rat's ass. I hate what happened to them. And, I wouldn't have had no part of that had I been alive back in the days. Because I just don't believe in suppression of people. But anyway, I get invited up there by this girl that I met, Navajo chick, and so I go. And part of the ritual, they do smoke ritual with smudge sticks, all that, cleansing, and they paint you up. They paint up, and it's a trip, man. What they do, they mash this peyote up in a bowl, and you all sit around. We sit around by a fire, and they would take a sip, turn the bowl, and hand it to the next person. Well, it's going around. Well, me, you see, I got greedy with it, and when they come to me, I was a good gulp like that. So I'm like, man, a little bit ain't gonna trip you out. Let me tell you something. Mescaline is super powerful. It don't take much of it. And so anyway, I pass the bowl around, and we're sitting out there getting into the groove, and like an hour passes and nothing. I'm feeling kind of nauseated and stuff, but nothing. I felt nothing. I'm like, man, this shit ain't, I ain't getting enough. And everybody's like, no, just give it a minute, man. It takes a couple of hours. Well, hour number 2 come along, and that shit started kicking in. Well, I'm sitting there enjoying the show, and they're out there like drumming like hell, man, and they're chanting, and it is really fucking cool, man, to start with. And they're like, doing their dances and stuff around the pit, and I'm pretty much just observing. I got a couple times and participated and stuff, but I was like really getting disorientated and stuff. So I'm like, man, I started getting really nauseated really bad. So I'm like, fuck, well, throw up. I'm like, shit, and everybody's like, it's okay. I'm sweating bullets and everything, and I'm getting a fan and just the sage smoke and stuff, man. I was like, fuck. And, I'm smoking a little weed too at the time, which I don't smoke weed now, but I did back then, and, man, that shit just kicked in all of a sudden. And when it did, I'm going to tell you something. Everything that has ever come in front of me in my life, everything that's ever happened, started coming in front of me. And to me, it was a very mental trip. Like, there was a lot of, it was hallucinogenic big time now, but there was a lot of emotion and everything pouring into me and stuff. And then, like I was watching them, they're dancing around and they're like painted. And, you watch westerns and stuff like that, normally you about to get burned at the stake or skinned alive, but they like that, I love Native Americans. Don't get me wrong, man. Y'all dudes are the shit, man. They have a sense of life and nature and soul that only they possess. None of us ever get to experience that, man. And man, kudos to you guys, man. But anyway, me being the only white dude there, I start getting paranoid, you know. I'm like, fuck. And I'm tripping fucking balls hard, man. And I'm starting thinking, man, I hope they're not like thinking I'm, you know, going back on old days where white people just totally fucked them over and shit, you know. And I'd be laughing like a motherfucker all of a sudden. Then I'd stop and I'd look, and it's like they were looking at me. I was like, fuck. And they'd be laughing like hell, you know. And then yeah, I just couldn't get in the click of it, man. It's like my waves of laughter wasn't jiving with hers, and it was like freaking me out. I'm like, fuck. So she keeps going, it's all right, just roll with it. I've done a lot of acid and shit like that, so I was like, okay, dude, breathe, man. You got to roll with it. You just got to flow with it, you know. Just roll with the flow, baby. Keep it going, you know. So I'm like, all right. So, and man, that shit kept getting more intense and more intense. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. I'm starting thinking, oh, I did this, I did that, I could have done so much better. And oh Lord, and here come the tears, and I'm like, yeah, fucking having supersonic waves of laughter, and then I'm crying, you know, and then I'm like freaking the fuck out, and then I'm laughing my ass off, you know. And I'm like trying to get into it, so I'm getting up, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to fucking dance around the fire and shit, and just be a part of it, but I just could not get in the groove of it. I'm like, fuck. And man, I rode that shit out though. But it was like 12 fucking hours of straight tripping motherfucking balls, and the damn stars up in the sky. Like out in the desert, man, that's the most beautiful starlit sky you'll ever see. But like, it was like a meteor shower, you know, and I'm like, fuck. Like massive meteor shower going on, but it wasn't. It's like stars falling from the heavens, man. And like, it was tripping me out so fucking bad. So finally, after a few hours of this, I finally got in a groove. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm enjoying this shit now and everything. But man, that was just a pretty good kickoff of my peyote trip. I don't know how it affects everyone else, but man, just to get to go do that peyote ritual with actual Navajos was like one of the coolest things, man. And I probably wouldn't never do it again, no, because the shit was pretty powerful. Or at least next time, don't take so much. Anyway, if you guys are thinking about doing it, watch this thing about it, because that shit will put you in a mental trip big time. And it's going to make you self-reflect. Like your soul will come in front of you and talk to you. And it will tell you every fucking thing you've ever done, man. So have a clear conscience. Make sure you're in a very good environment before you try it. But anyway, and don't overdo it neither. Don't get greedy. It don't take much mescaline to tear your ass up, man. Hope you enjoy this. Comment definitely if you have ever tripped on peyote or mescaline. Just comment, man. I'd like to hear your stories, man. Like and subscribe. Go to Crank. Peace out.